5. And
Click done, redirecting to YouTube.
I don't like that. Oh, graduation edition.
So it's like we're streaming.
We are streaming now. Why don't you go ahead and do a little quick test and then go ahead and start? I just sent you that.
Good morning, everybody. This is just a quick test of our Facebook Live event, streaming through YouTube to Facebook Live. Just a quick test. How are we doing?
Can you refresh?
You want to chat it to me?
More than anything. So my chat won't show up over here because that's way over here. It's not letting me chat.
Here we go. I got it.
Okay.
Give me 20 seconds. Okay, let's see. So I don't know if it'll
Did anybody see that test on Facebook? I didn't see it.
Try it now. I just posted it.
Neil says he's up, but I don't see him in the. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Yep, he's there. Okay.
Is it working? Second.
It says we're live on YouTube right now.
Oh, I see the link.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. We couldn't do it live. We did a little different.
There you go. Carry on. Do it.
Okay, everybody. Looks like we are ready to go. So good morning and welcome to the Coffee with the Superintendent event. It's my favorite Coffee of the Superintendent event of the year because today we have 6 of the top graduates from our different programs in the New Haven Unified School District with us today. Graduates from some of the top students from Logan, Conley and Carabello High School, and the Dakota School for Independent Studies, which is fantastic. They're going to share some thoughts and comments with us about their time in our district. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our kids and our graduates and have them introduce themselves to start things off. And to do that, if you can just share a little bit about your name, the school you went to, and what your plans are when you graduate, that would be great. I'll go around the room here. And that you can't see that in YouTube, but around the room means that we'll start with Tiana Lee from James Logan High School. She's our ASB president at James Logan High School.
Hello. So my name is Tiana Lee, as Dr. Thompson just said. I'm graduating tomorrow from James Logan High School. And my plans for the next school year, I'll be attending UC Davis as a neurobiology major. And then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Tiana. Jiyoung, let's start with go to you.
My name is Jiyoung Chen. I'm graduating from also from James Logan next year. And my plans for next year, I will be majoring in physics at UC.
No problem. That happens. Why don't you give a start again there, Jiyoung? Thanks.
My name is Jiyoung Chen. I will be graduating from James Logan next year, or tomorrow. And then for next year, I will be studying physics at UC Berkeley.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jiyoung. All right, let's move over to Jessica.
All right, hi, my name is Jessica. I'll be graduating from James Logan High School tomorrow, and my plans for the future, I'll be attending UC Berkeley as a four-year university, and I'll be studying electrical engineering and computer science.
Thank you. Okay, Melissa, you're up.
Hi, my name is Melissa Bonostro. I graduated yesterday from Dakota School for Independent Study, and my plans for next year is to attend Ohlone, and I will be studying to become an ethnic studies teacher.
Fantastic. Thanks, Melissa. Jose.
Hello, my name is Jose Hernandez. I graduated from Colin Lake Arabello, like, what was it, last Friday. My plans for the future are to work as PG&E as an electrician, and yeah.
Thanks, Jose. All right, Fadil, you're up.
My name is Fadil. I graduated from Colin Carabello last week. My plans are to get a trucking license and also go to college at the same time.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we have a series of questions we're going to ask our different candidates to talk about their time in our district and also to provide us with a little bit of advice for students that are still working through our system. And we're going to start with the question, which is describe a memory you have from your time in our district. And we will start with Tiana.
So for me, a great memory that I've had in our district wasn't really just one memory, but more of like a set of memories. And I made those memories doing cross country and track and field. I run, and it's been a very impactful sport for me. And I've made a lot of really great memories with those, like my teammates and my coaches. We've had a lot of different coaches. And it's just been a very great sport. So that's my great set of memories.
Fantastic. Jose, how about you?
Okay, so for me, there's a lot of memories, of course, but one in specific was when I walked the stage in middle school. It's like the first time we actually like physically walked the stage. And in elementary, we like kind of got a little paper and kind of got sent off to middle school. And just seeing my family and like all my friends, like the joy in the building when I graduated was like the best memories for me.
That's great. Well, if middle school is that good, Jose, I hope tomorrow graduating, well, no, actually you already walked across the stage at Connolly, so that's great too. So you got the full experience from elementary, middle, and high school. Thank you, Jose. All right. The next question is, if you could go back in time, what advice would you give your younger self? And Melissa, why don't you start with that one?
If I can go back in time and give advice to my younger self, I would probably tell myself to always be kind and respectful to everyone, regardless of who they are and the way that they act. If they come off rude or, just maybe disrespectful, just always keep that respect because you never know what anybody is going through. I've had challenges of my own, so I want to be mindful of that and be mindful of everyone who may struggle mentally, and that's why they react the way they do. So I would just tell myself to always be kind regardless of who it is and just keep that respect to everyone.
I think that's great advice for all of us. So thank you. All right, Jessica, how about you? What advice would you give your younger self?
My advice is that health should be prioritized. Like being the salutatorian, I stacked a lot of hard classes my sophomore and junior year, and I was wearing myself really thin. And then like the night before, I had like a really important physics final and like an A-push quiz. I got a really bad pain in my kidney and I had to go to the ER for that. And I think it's because of like the negligence that I kind of put on my health. And so if I could go back in time, I think maybe stack less classes, put health first. Yeah.
Also great advice. I know it can be really, really tough getting through high school, the pressures that are on both socially and through classes. So that's really good advice. Be kind and try to stay healthy. I can't think of two better bits of advice than that. All right, moving on to the next question, which is, how do you think your time in high school has helped prepare you for the future? And why don't you tackle that one?
How do I think high school prepare me for the future? It made me slow down for a bit, just to think about what I need to do next and not rush things, and also ask for help that when I really need it. So that also helped me.
Oh, mute button again. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. That was good to hear. All right. How about Jiyoung? Do you want to tackle that time to think about how high school has prepared you for your future?
I think high school prepared me for my future in a lot of ways because it's not just education and like the classes I took, but also a lot of great clubs and events at Logan that gave us like a lot of opportunities to learn like skills such as leadership.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about favorite grade level. What was your favorite grade level and why? Jose, why don't you tell us about your favorite grade level and why you picked that grade level?
I say for me, it would have to be elementary because I was more myself when I was a kid. You know, you don't have to worry about all this little stress, all about working, stuff like that. So for me, for sure, it would be elementary because I was a kid, I would goof off, do whatever I would want to do. And so for me, elementary was the best like set of years.
Yeah, they definitely don't have those. You don't have to worry about physics finals or working or things like that for sure. So that's yeah, that elementary is a good time. All right, Tiana, how about you?
For me, I think it sounds very strange because it just happened last year, but I had before, things kind of came to a stop. Junior year was a really good year for me. I know that the question prompted elementary, middle, or high school, but for me, I just specifically remember junior year going really well because sophomore and freshman year were a little rocky. But junior year was where I was starting to figure everything out. And I really was having a great time before things kind of came to a stop. So
Yeah, the pandemic sure messed everything up, didn't it? None of you picked are going to pick this year as your favorite year. Certainly was not my favorite year. I can tell you that. I think this might be my favorite day of the year because I get to see all of you. Seeing kids around, students, has something that I think we've all missed, seeing your friends and seeing each other. So, junior year, all right. Well, Tiana, you also talked about a sport that impacted you. How about the next question is there an activity or sport that you feel positively impacted your time in high school? And let's see, Jessica, why don't you tackle that one?
So I've been playing badminton ever since second grade, but I started getting really good results from all the years of training in high school. And I think that learning time management with my sport really helped me kind of manage my classes really well in high school. And I also got to go to World Juniors for badminton, which was in Russia, and that was really cool. And I got to place at junior nationals a lot. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. And wow, it sounds like quite an experience being able to leave the country and actually play, especially in a place like Russia. That must have been fantastic. All right, Melissa, how about you?
An activity that helped me a lot in high school is the Raising Leaders workshop with Miss Davita Scott. She only worked with, she worked with our district, but she mainly just worked with independent studies in Conley. I don't think she worked with Logan. That really helped me a lot. It brought a lot of opportunities to me. I know that I started it because she did offer credits for it, but I continue to stay with it. And, she helped me, she inspired me, Ms. Davita Scott. She helped me graduate early. She helped me get where I am now, my job that I have now. I am the supervisor at Tricep Recycling. I work very closely with Richard Valle. So just being able to have that opportunity with Ms. Davita Scott, that was really helpful. And I think that really just put me in my place, having that role model in my life. And that was just really inspirational for me.
Yeah, Ms. Scott does a great job with that program. This year, that's another thing that we lost out on this year. She wasn't able to get that program running like it normally would. So I'm glad you had a great experience with that. All right. Let's see. How about next question, which is, what advice would you give students entering high school? And next year is going to be really different for the 8th graders coming into high school, coming out of the digital world and moving into back in person. So Jessica, why don't you tell us about what advice you would give the students that are coming in, the new 9th graders, the rising 9th graders?
I would say to enjoy your time in high school. Join everything you want to join, take all the classes you want to take, but don't wear yourself too thin because these 4 years have been really fast, even though half of it was like digital. Still think like I wish there was more time, and I wish I kind of did some things that I didn't get to do. Yeah.
Thank you. I think that's one of the things that, looking back, if you don't appreciate, I think, some of the things that the activities and clubs, until they're gone, right? And then, so I think that's great advice. Fadil, how about you? What would you tell kids coming into high school for next year? What advice?
I would say try your best. High school's gonna be tough on you. Just try your best. Ask for help. No matter how hard it gets, you're always gonna have people around you. So.
Good advice. Very good advice. Okay. Well, thank you. All right. So those are the structured questions we have. I like to close this event by having our top students thank somebody who gave them, it could be a staff, teacher, it might be another staff member, a food service worker, somebody that in your school experience with us in New Haven that really influenced you and that you'd like to say thank you for their influence. So why don't we start with Yana? Who would you like to thank?
There's a lot of people that I could thank. I've been in this school district since I started kindergarten, and so there's a lot of people who have touched my life and helped me through. However, my 5th grade math and science teacher, Mr. Guernsey, I'd really like to thank him. He kind of helped me not only understand that like what I want to do, because I didn't know what I mean, obviously I don't think anybody knew what they wanted to do when they were 10 years old, 11 years old. I mean, unless you did, that's impressive. But I definitely didn't. And he kind of showed me that I really love science and I really love the STEM field. And that's why I'm majoring in what I am now. So I'd really like to thank him. And I visit him continuously and he's always pushed me. And he sends me emails and things like that. My brother had him and he's just a very great teacher and person.
From Emmanuel. That's all right. From back in 5th grade. That's great. Thank you. All right, Jiyoung, how about you? Who would you like to thank for helping you?
I also had a lot of great teachers, counselors, and just staff people who were just there in high school that were very helpful. But I think if it was one person I would want to thank, Mr. Puka from James Logan High School. He is the math teacher. Because I've known him since, I visited him since middle school for a math competition. But basically, he's just basically a great teacher, and then he's there for you. And then whenever you have questions, he's happy to discuss with you after class. So I think that was a lot of help and very inspirational to my choice of major.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, Jessica, who would you like to thank?
I also have like a lot of teachers that have touched my heart because I've been with this district since elementary school. But I think I'll also have to go with my 5th grade teacher. Her name's Miss Gilmet. And she had a lot of confidence in me, which like in turn gave me a lot of confidence. And whenever like I pushed myself in high school, I always thought of her and how like she inspired me to like always push myself. And yeah, I don't think I could have gotten to this point if it weren't for her.
Wow, that's fantastic. And I think I messed up. She's from Emmanuel, right? Yeah, and you went to Alvarado, correct? Okay, right. Sorry about that. I'm mixing up my elementary schools here. All right. Well, thanks, Jessica. Okay, Melissa, how about you? I know you're a big fan of Miss Scott. Is there anybody else that's in our system that you would like to thank?
Yeah, a person that I would really like to thank is Miss Stevens, my counselor at Dakota School for Independent Study, because I feel like just like in general, like in school, it's really hard to maybe find a counselor who, I'm not just saying this, but I think it's because like schools are so big and it's hard to have a relationship with every student that you have. I think she did a really good job at that. I know that Dakota School is a little bit smaller than the other high schools, but she went out of her way to, just talk to everyone and help them thrive. She was there like emotionally, and she would help us like with school stuff, of course. I feel like I don't think I've ever had the best luck with counselors. I think it was more for high school, like counselors just helped you with, your classes, schedule, stuff like that. So I'm just really thankful for her. If I ever came with problems, I know sometimes teachers will kind of push you away. That's how I feel like, in order to help you find better help. But I feel like she really just went for it and tried her best to help me. And if there was anything that she couldn't help me with, she helped me find other help, but she never pushed me away, and that was just, it made me feel very like I mattered, I just wasn't any other student that needed help. I actually mattered, and I'm just very thankful for her.
That's a great shout out from Stevens. She works hard over there. Okay. Jose, we know you loved elementary school. Is your teacher, is it going to be someone from elementary school or someone else that influenced you?
Sadly not. Like I said, middle school is more like, elementary school is more like a playground type of thing for me. But for me, if I had to choose one person, it's very hard to be honest, but I would say my middle school 7th grade teacher, Mr. Jackson. He was a cooking and stitching class. I know in middle school for me, I was a very problematic kid. I would very stubborn, always mess around in class. A lot of teachers liked me, but the way I was with them, it was kind of interfering with the school. He showed me to respect teachers, to have good relationships with them. I never really like teachers, have relationships with them. I'll just go there, goof off, and then get out of school. He kind of showed me to respect them. He kind of showed me in general the structure of the school to do my work. I never did my work. He kind of pushed me to do more and do better for myself. Until this day, he's more like, even though he was a teacher, to me he's a friend because he helped me pursue what I'm doing now, and he's really a good staff.
Yeah, he must have had a big influence. Jose is our Warrior Character Award winner at Connolly Carabella High School, which is a great award there. So clearly, definitely helped get you heading in that direction. So that's great. Fadil, how about you?
I'd like to thank Mr. Buckner, the PE teacher at Connolly. Once the second semester hit, my life just went downhill. My dad got really sick, so I told him, he was like, don't worry about work, just be with your family. That's like the main important thing, is be with your family. So he helped me with a lot of stuff to help graduate. So I'm thankful for that.
That's great to hear that you helped to get through that. Thanks, Fadil. Well, wow. I feel like you're all great representatives of the class of 2021. It was great hearing all of you share your experiences, and I feel pretty good about not only all of you, but if you're representing us moving forward, I think we're in great shape. So that's it for us today. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, high school graduates, for your time and for sharing your thoughts. We really appreciate it. Okay, everybody. Thanks. That's it for now.